Haha. Live, it says. Now, if you are a subscriber to my channel, seeing the notification rock up that I'm live will be a hell of a shock, because I haven't advertised it and I haven't told you that it's happening, or indeed that I'm still around. I'm still here. Well, yes, I am. And I'm going to give it a minute or two, just a minute, just to sort of like see if anybody does have their notifications turned on. And if anybody is still around. Well, yes, so, a shocked face there from Chuck. See, this is where I can actually... there's been lots of change, kind of been away. Comments. Oh, it's frozen. It's definitely... well, it's thought about that. Oh, well, it's on screen. Oh, and Lily's here as well. Hello, Lily. Hi. I'm guessing the showing comments only shows up when I am on screen myself, so I'll turn that off. But there we go. Tell you what, shall we just dive into this and sort of explain what the hell's going on? Why not? Let's switch to that. And we'll turn that off as well. Hi there, everybody. Turn that off. Oh, good Lord. And turn the text off, because I'm live now. Hi there. Well, it's been a minute, eh, Mav? As you could tell, I'm not in full mode because I just grabbed the first hat I could find. I put this on. Not shaven. This room is a complete bomb site because we are still sorting and organizing the house in the aftermath of the passing of my father. First things first, I do want to say thank you very much indeed to all the kind words and best wishes that have come in over the last 6 weeks now. My father passed away on Good Friday in April, and his cremation service actually took place this week on Tuesday. And during that period of him passing, and now we've been sorting out what's what, sorting out his estate, sorting out the return of various accoutrements that medically he was put in around him and to help his care. Let's have a look. It's been a long month. It's been an emotional month. But with his passing and with the attempt to try and bring some kind of normality back into the world on my side, it does mean that I want to try and get myself with some kind of bandwidth to present Talking Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego again, especially as we are weeks away now from the convention. Although from the way that things are getting ramped up, it seems like it's going to happen next week or something, considering that we have the first trolley wrap that was announced. I think I saw it first thing this morning, so it's been out on the San Diego tracks as of today. So they're starting now to do the trolley wraps. We've had all the various elements of hotels still being... that's all been done. Ace parking, that's been done. They're starting to announce the special guests for the show, which, to be fair, a lot of not unsurprising guess. It's a lot of the similar and same kind of people showing their faces. But this is kind of like just a proof of life. Hello, I'm here. As of next week, the growth will be gone. The proper hat will be in place. Hopefully, I'll be a little bit more tidy here in this room. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. The room that was being used by my father, which was a small bedroom, is going to get redecorated and repurposed as an office and broadcast space, as it were. So hopefully that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, because I want to redecorate that room relatively quickly, because right now, in the shape that it's in, it's still his room. And I don't want to erase him, but I don't want him to be a ghost. He wouldn't have wanted that. He wanted us to move forward and live life. Whether he would have wanted us to go to San Diego is another matter, considering that I can confirm, if you don't know already, if you've not been watching, but yes, I will not be attending San Diego Comic-Con 2025. This was a decision that had been made just before my father had passed away, actually. I put a blog post out on theconventioncollective.com explaining my reasoning, and my father was the main reason why we wouldn't be going, because I wanted to make sure that he had the best care he had. I wanted to be around for him, and gallivanting off for 2 weeks, if not longer, to San Diego just didn't warrant it, or it didn't feel suitable. However, in the interim, the reasons a little bit further down the list have become more pertinent, including, say, for example, I don't know if anyone has been seeing the headlines coming out of San Diego over the last 24, 48 hours involving ICE agents going into a restaurant in San Diego and forcibly removing not only staff members, but also the manager that was on duty at the time. It's been happening already, but because obviously my interest has been San Diego, obviously it's something that it becomes kind of relevant to the brand, as it were. But still, the way that ICE have been going in is indicative of the current administration. In my blog post, I did talk about and mention about how, as a Englishman, a very white middle-class Englishman traveling to the US with a Mediterranean surname, even prior to Trump and the current immigration administration, I had problems every time I came into the country. I either got randomly stopped and had baggage search, and it was the running joke that I would always get stopped at security. Now, when the current administration seems so aggressive and treating any non-American country as almost like an enemy combatant, it would have really put pressure on myself and Caroline. And also, now that if I did come out to attend San Diego Comic-Con and reporting for the Convention Collective, that is effectively working, which means I would have to get a temporary journalist's working visa. So that's time, administration, money, and the fact that everyone's being so aggressive to journalists generally at the moment, and the fact that we've just had Marco Rubio talking about visas being cancelled for people who have been critical of Israel and the American support of Netanyahu. which has been me. I personally think I'm like I say, I'm a white guy from England. I can't say I have any dog in this particular fight, but even I can see that the bombing and killing of innocents and children is the act of aggressive terrorists, of which I put very much the Hamas and the Israeli administration in that category. So I've been critical of the Israeli administration, which, according to Marco Rubio, means that I would be out on my ear. It's just too much of a risk, if not just for me, but also just taking Caroline out. I'm not having my wife put through that risk of being turfed out at the door. So, yeah, Chuck, I mean, I'm reminded of a conversation that you and I had with Phaedra, and we talked about what would happen if Trump did get back into power. This was when it seemed that Harris had the momentum, that she had the ability to get the presidency. We didn't realize just how racist and bigoted and narrow-minded a large percentage of the American population were, and we ended up with the position we're in. You were talking about camps, and you were talking about people being hauled off the street, and I kind of dismissed you because I just thought, okay, that's a bit alarmist. We're now 5 months in, and that's exactly where we are. And all I can do is apologize to you because I just didn't appreciate the speed of which Trump, Bannon, Miller, and the rest of Project 2025 were going to implement what they have done. So to you, I apologize. And to America, all I can do is shake my head in complete disbelief that, I mean, you are in a fascist state right now, and it can't even be denied. It's really difficult to say, but that's where we're at. So that's the reason why I will not be attending San Diego Comic-Con. That doesn't mean that I won't be covering it. Now, we do have boots on the ground. That might not be the term that I really should be using, but I'm going to use it anyway. But we've got Dan Berry, who's the senior editor of the Convention Collective, and we also got other people in place. We're waiting on official word from CCI that's going to be basically my press pass is going to be transferred to a correspondent. So we're going to have live bodies on the floor with mics, with cameras, recording and uploading content. And the idea would be that it's going to go straight into a Google Drive. I'm going to put it online as soon as I possibly can. And the idea is I have actually taken that week off work anyway, and with the intention of going out to San Diego. So the idea would have been that I would have been awake. I'm going to stay awake during San Diego Comic-Con and basically report live the best I can, which is going to be a little bit advantageous, if anything, because we'll be able to bring as much as we can to those people who aren't attending Comic-Con this year, and hopefully bring it as quickly as possible. It's something that the unofficial blog can't do, because all their correspondents are on in the floor and enjoying themselves, taking some pictures and putting them up on social as best they can. But I will be here at sort of like mission command, as it were, and taking in the content that Dan and our correspondent will be, our correspondents will be doing, bringing in. I'll be getting it as soon as I can and just putting it out to various socials. So we'll be covering as much as we possibly can. What we're going to be covering is another ball game, considering that we already knew that DC were going to be doing a slightly different tack to what you felt was going to be their approach, considering Superman would have been coming out or out at that point. But they're not going to be bringing a Superman panel. They're going to be focusing on Peacemaker, which is a television show. It's popular, but it's not exactly off the charts, as it were, but they are going to be doing what they can there. You may have some surprise announcements in terms of other DC Studios projects, but for now they're saying that it's going to be a Peacemaker panel, which ain't that bad. I mean, it's a great show if you get the chance to watch it, but it's very The Boys. It's very adult. It's very in your face. Then you've got Marvel, who have announced, or they haven't announced, it's gone out via Variety, that they will not be attending on Hall H panel. So they will not be bringing Fantastic Four. They will not be bringing their plans for the future of Marvel Studios and the MCU. So who knows what's going to be shown in Hall H this year? This may be a space for other panels to put forward. I mean, it'd be great to have Eddie Ibrahim come on and talk to us about the impact of San Diego Comic-Con now, of the studios, and where the heat is for SDCC. Is it still there? Is it still a promotion space for people to come forward? I mean, I would say that it is. I mean, the last time I attended, we have the massive panel for Keanu Reeves' Berserker and what he was doing, and that was a great momentum for that project. It's interesting to see where San Diego Comic-Con sits in the pop culture promotion landscape as a convention. When it comes to the live panels, that is something that I am going to be focusing on over the course of the weeks leading up to, because not only do I want to get back into interviewing and talking to people, but I do also want to talk to those that are putting on panels, promoting those panels, and kind of letting people know that those are there and where they are and what people can expect to see and who the guests will be. So there are a couple of people that are already saying that they're up for coming on to talk to me about upcoming panels. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Fandom Ventures, I'll definitely be in San Diego for SDCC from Tuesday until Sunday and possibly until Monday. That's this here in the bottom corner. So there we go. If you do have a comment, jump in, by all means. That's Fandom Ventures. Excellent stuff. Great to hear. From Tuesday until Sunday, that's kind of what I would be usually doing. I mean, I would usually be coming into San Diego the Wednesday or Thursday. No, the Wednesday before the weekend of San Diego Comic-Con, the week before. So I'd have the weekend where I can go around and catch up with everybody, and then have the start of the week, the ramp up to the con, have the con itself, have a week where I have an actual holiday, and then go home on the Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, I have a little bit longer usually than yourself, but it does mean that you've got a bit of time to have a bit of a breather in San Diego. Good plan, because it is a beautiful city and it is well worth going and checking out. So there you go. That's Fandom Ventures. I'll be in San Diego from then till then. If you want to spread the word, or if you want me to spread the word of anything, share any links, and I'll make sure that I'll put them on my socials as well. And I'll gladly broadcast everything that you get up to, because of course we love you loads. A big fan of Fandom Ventures. So that's the idea. That's the plan for San Diego Comic-Con this year. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be awake when the convention is actually on. I'll probably be sleeping during the day. So this is going to be a kind of like a way of giving a kind of like in studio reportage for San Diego Comic-Con. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. Once the convention is finished, I will probably be getting into a regular weekly thing where I'll be promoting Kickstarters, promoting projects, doing my best to talk to and interview as many people as I possibly can. This all starts next week, and as usual, I'm going to do my best to make life incredibly hard for myself, because next week, actually, I'm away at one of the first conventions for me for the year. This is actually, I'm going to be going as kind of like piggybacking off somebody else. You may know or remember when I first started doing panel hosting, I did it for MCon in Nottingham. For the great guys down there which is a pop culture con, but it was the first convention that took me on as a panel host. Had a great time doing that, and still love everyone involved in MCon. Caroline came along that first year, almost like my PA, which I wasn't a massive fan of because I wanted her to enjoy herself instead of just her running after me. And as such, she ended up kind of going around and helping the convention with anything that they possibly could do, like running messages all over the place, sitting with any guests while somebody needed to go to the toilet or something. She just basically helped out. At which point she then got invited back to look after trader tables, which she did for a year or so and had a great time doing that. At which point my father became ill, so she dialed back like everything else. I think she did go 1 year just to kind of have a break and concentrate on something other than my dad. And so she did go back to MCon, still being in contact with him and all still being great friends. At which point she's arranged that we are going back. I'm going to be kind of her PA this year, but also on the Saturday, there is a mid-con party. It's a mid-con ball, which is going to be running from like 7 o'clock till late. And I've been asked if I want to DJ it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Whether I'm going to get any pay for it or anything, or whether I'm just doing it as a volunteer. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I do see a question, Lily. I will come back to that. It's a good question. So it looks like on Saturday, next weekend, I am going to be DJing again for the first time since New Year, DJing a mid-con ball, and it is technically going to be my last ever DJ gig properly. So we'll see what's going to happen. The lineup for MCon this year is spectacular, to be fair. Some really great guests, including somebody who I've only met once, which was Todd Stachwick. And Todd is somebody who I accosted outside of D23 when he was going in. And I just sort of like, you come here and have a chat with me about D23 and how important it is for you as a fan. And he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was, really. I got him on Talkin Con like a year and a half later. And this will be the first time I've seen him face to face. So it would be good to possibly catch up, have an interview, talk to him about Star Trek, talk to him about the other projects he's been involved in. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to catch up with him. But so it looks like I am heading to Nottingham next weekend, which means on the Sunday, I will either be doing the first of these Talking Con, either from a hotel room in Nottingham, which is more than likely, from a phone in Nottingham, from a bar in Nottingham somewhere, or on the way home. Either way, I'm just going to make life very difficult for myself, and I am going to be doing a first Talking Con, I suspect from Nottingham, as a live roaming report. So there we go. Chuck Cook, Stachwick is definitely one of us. He is absolute bona fide A-grade nerd. Absolutely. He's got his man cave. He's got his D&D, which he's big into, which I don't know if he's been feeling a little homesick, considering D&D is big over here, but it's not big. It's not LA big. But I'd be curious to see if he's been able to rustle up any games here while he's been here in the UK. So, Lily, you asked a question. Let's come back to it. The studios don't care anymore to come to SDCC. Why do you think this is? What's going on here? I think we could put it down a lot to the lockdown, where a lot of people's priorities shifted to the audience not being there. So it's very difficult to have an audience of perspective, because the idea is for a studio to come and invest in coming to something like San Diego Comic-Con, is that the people who are attending will then go off and spread the word. That is the point. You get the nerd, you get them, the hardcore ones that will then go off and be the PR for you. That was all the way back in the 1970s with Star Wars. You wouldn't have had the love and support from Star Wars straight out the gate if it wasn't for the grassroots support at events like San Diego Comic-Con with Charles Lippincott and all the guys who put the work in to get that groundswell at events like San Diego Comic-Con. So you've got an audience which has kind of gone off the boil. That was demonstrated with with the just decreasing numbers of people going to see the MCU. The MCU hasn't got the juice anymore. Superhero movies haven't got exactly the juice anymore. There isn't as much heat in pop culture fandom. Then, of course, there's whether that fandom does pay off. I think the first big warning sign was the likes of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, when that was going to be one of the big films of the year. It came to San Diego Comic-Con. The idea was it was going to blow the roof off them, and it did, at which point it didn't translate to box office numbers, and in fact it died, purely because the target audience for Scott Pilgrim then went home, pulled up LimeWire, and illegally downloaded it. So it's got to serve the purpose of investing all that money and time to bring San Diego the talent and the trailers and really kind of grab people's attention when people have got other things on their plate. When you have a news cycle which lasts a day, day and a half, and then people have moved on to the next big thing. I think Andor is the best example for the correct way of doing it, doing week by week shows. So then people can then talk about it for a week, discuss it, water cooler it, and then you're straight back into the next episode. Yeah, it's a case of pacing it out. So I think it's just cause and effect, and it's also about that investment. Whether it costs it costs millions to put on a panel, whether it is something which will then give a return. And I don't think any convention has that anymore. It doesn't have that juice. I think online panels also took a lot of that heat away as well, when they can just generate and control their own content. DC did it with their online affair, which worked rather well, and it got all the word out there, and it got the attention it needed, and got people talking. That's all they need. That's all they want. That's what their promotion departments are for. So yeah, I think it's just a case of cause and effect. So then I think, and I'd hope that there have been conversations in San Diego Comic-Con as to what it is now then. What is the show? What is its purpose? What does it serve? Does it serve now the talent that's on the floor? Is it an industry show where people can network and find new talent as artists and creators down on the exhibit floor and find the next big thing? What is the purpose for San Diego Comic-Con? That's what they were trying to work out last year. That's what they are trying to work out this year. Chuck, it's my suspicion, at least with Disney-owned properties, there's a pretty significant conflict when the parent company runs multiple events themselves. Talking, of course, about D23. Yeah, absolutely right. So yeah, I suspect there will be that conflict of interest. But that's one company. What about the rest of them? DC, they did their live online thing for 2 years. Haven't done it since. I think because they realized that they didn't necessarily have enough content. It ended up being a true mini con with lots of legacy stuff and lots of celebration of their creators, which I think it's safe to say both Marvel and DC have proven themselves that while they celebrate their characters and while they celebrate their IPs, they don't necessarily celebrate and look after the people that put pencil, paint, and ink to paper. Peter David was left very high and dry at the back end of his life, and yeah, I think something like that kind of shines a light on them. That being said, like you say, they've got their own events where they can show off their own IPs. So I can't tell you when D23 is next. When is the next D23? Is that next year? Will be, wouldn't it? So there we go. So, like I say, this has been a little bit of a test run. Please let me know if the sound has been okay. Let me know if the picture has been clear enough. Has it been stuttering? Has it been stalling? Shall I turn the high deafness down? Because, you know, Fat Leonard is definitely back, and so is the chin hair. Because at the end of the day, I installed all these internet hubs to try and get better signal and better picture from this particular show. But now it's a case of tidying things up again. Like I say, this was literally just a proof of life stream, just to say hello, talk about my thoughts about everything, but we'll be doing it properly from next week, bringing you some news, updates. Yeah, Fan Adventures. I'm watching on my phone. It all looks and sounds good. Excellent. So back again next week. Please come and join us, because I think it'll be the start of a nice little run leading up to San Diego Comic-Con. We'll cover everything like the guest list to date, because we'll have as much information as we can about who's actually invited to San Diego Comic-Con this year, who is confirmed. We are going to be also doing our best to get as many panel organizers on the live streams, because we've got people like Chris Mays, who's going to be doing his art drops as of today, and hopefully by the 18th or something like that, he'll have had his full art drop run. So talk about that, talk about his booth, talk about his experience at San Diego Comic-Con. We've got people like Jendia Gammon, who's going to be part of a panel. I think she's part of one or organizing a panel. So that'd be rather cool to get her on and talk about what she's got up and running. I think she's got a Star Trek panel in particular, but she's got a few that she's going to be doing. If you know anybody that is running a panel at San Diego Comic-Con who feels that they want to get a little bit more people through the door and want to kind of hype up their session, let them know that I'm available, and I'd be more than willing to have them on to talk about their panel, because I do think panels are one of the most exciting things about San Diego Comic-Con and any convention, because it really is a true conversation and presentation for the fans, and those that walk through the door are usually very entertained. Right. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. No ins and outs credits on this one. Just literally going to say my farewells. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Back again next week, as we are going to be coming live from MCon in Nottingham. Going to be a little bit more slightly slicker when it comes to my own personal presentation, and hopefully now that I can concentrate on myself a little bit, I can get back to doing some exercise and shed this fat suit which I bought especially for this particular podcast. I need to take this fat suit back. So there we go. Right, take care. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Fuck Ice. Fuck Joanne. Fuck Comicsgate. And yeah, let's celebrate positive fandom the best we can. Back again next week. As always, if you want a message or if you want to leave a comment, go down to the comments of this video, like and subscribe, do all of that jazz. But we are back with a proper Talking Con. A cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego as of next week. From me to you, see you soon. Bye-bye.